Hello, I'm Abby from Sutton Schoolswork. Welcome to our assemblies online. Each week we're going to be sharing a Bible story, a thought about what it means for Christians, a few questions for you to think about, and a challenge for the week ahead. So, are you sitting comfortably? Let's begin.
Hi, I'm Claire. Today we're thinking about trust. What do you think it means to trust somebody? When we trust someone, we know we can rely on them. We put our confidence in them and we feel safe with them. I wonder what makes us trust someone. I'm going to give you two qualities that people may have. You need to choose which one makes someone trustworthy. Do we trust someone who is kind or unkind? Honest or tells lies? Loving or rude? Helpful or hurtful? Reliable or unreliable? A trustworthy person is kind, honest, loving, helpful and reliable. Wow, that's a tall order. Christians believe that God has all of these qualities. And today we're going to tell you a story from the Bible about a man named Moses who chose to put his trust in God.
One day, Moses was at a burning bush, and he heard a voice talk to him. The voice said, "I am the God of Israel. You are Moses, the man I have chosen to lead my people out of Egypt." "I can't do that," Moses trembled. "I left Egypt years ago, and I'm an old man now." "You can do it. You must do it," God answered. "For my people are slaves in Egypt and have prayed to be set free. I have heard their prayers, and you are the man I have chosen." "But I'm so shy," Moses continued. "I'm no good at talking to people." "Don't worry about that," God assured him. "Your brother Aaron loves to talk. You can take him with you. Now go. My people need your help." So Moses and Aaron went to visit the king of Egypt. "God wants you to set his people free," they announced. But the king just laughed. "Don't be silly. They do what I tell them. They work for nothing. I will never set them free," he said. "Then I must warn you," said Moses. "God will make some very bad things happen until you change your mind." It started almost at once. The rivers of Egypt filled with blood. The houses of Egypt swarmed with frogs. The dust of Egypt turned into gnats. But the king would not let God's people go. He said, "I will never set them free." The people in Egypt were covered with flies. The animals in Egypt grew sick and died. Ugly sores broke out on everyone. But the king would not let God's people go. He said, "I will never set them free." Hail pelted the land and broke down the crops. Locusts gobbled up what was left. Darkness like night fell for 3 whole days. And still, the king would not give in. He said, "I will never set them free." Finally, God sent an angel to kill the eldest sons of all the Egyptians, including the king's own son, Then, at last, the king said, "Go! Go and never come back." God's people cheered. God's people packed. God's people waved goodbye. But just as they reached the sea and were puzzling about how to get across, the king changed his mind. He said, "I will never set them free." He leapt into his chariot and led his army out after them. Soon, the sea stretched out before God's people and the Egyptian army rushed behind them like a wave. What could they do? "Raise your special walking stick," God said to Moses. And so Moses did. The sea split in two before them, leaving a path right down the middle. The Hebrews hurried along that path to the other side, the Egyptian army close behind. Just as the last of God's people had safely crossed, Moses lowered his stick. The waters rushed back and the army was washed away. God's people were safe and free at last.
So Pharaoh didn't want to listen. He refused to do what God wanted him to do. He wouldn't let the Israelites go. But Moses and Aaron had God on their side and they knew that they could trust him. God showed his power by sending the plagues and parting the sea so that the Israelites could escape. Christians believe that God is so powerful that they can trust in his power to help them when things are hard, just like he did for Moses and the Israelites.
Question time. Can you remember any of the qualities of someone you can trust? Why do you think Moses and the Israelites trusted God to help them escape? Who can you trust to help you when you need it?
It's great to have people we can trust, isn't it? But we also want to encourage you to be a person that others can trust. This week's challenge. How can you show your friends that they can trust you? We hope you enjoyed our assembly and see you next time. Bye!